All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another day of the session, E-Meet Your Design and Fashion School, where you get to interact with the top management of each school. You keep your options open to private design and fashion schools, and you save money by applying only to the best private design schools that you can find. So if what we have been doing as DQ Labs is we've been running a series of these webinars, and we have also done a webinar on private design schools to consider in 2022. What you can do is the link of this is shared in the description of this YouTube webinar, and for those who are attending live, it will be shared in the chat. Today is our interaction with Istituto Marangoni, which is an Italy-based fashion design school. Istituto is one of the top design schools globally, and almost every global designer, fashion designer that you see has something to do with Istituto Marangoni. Either they've studied from there, they're guest faculty there, and it's a huge brand name globally. Now, Istituto has a campus in Mumbai. It's a very beautiful campus, centrally located, and from this campus we have Mr. Mahip Babar, who is here to talk about the school. Just to introduce Mahip to you, Mahip is a driven and result-oriented brand activation advisor. He's got more than 10 years in design education. He's recognized for executing high-performance marketing, communication, and branding strategies. Right? So what he does as Istituto Marangoni is he's the supervisor of enrollment for India and the subcontinent, right? So he's the right person to talk about why you should be joining or considering Istituto Marangoni. If you'd like more information about this school, you can click on the DQ Edge link. This link is also shared in the description of this email, of this webinar, sorry. And it will also be shared on chat. Mahip, thank you so much for taking the time to come out here.
Thank you.
Glad you could make it here, right? Yeah, so Mahip, you could take over from here and let me activate screen sharing. Yeah,
thank you.
Activate it. Yeah.
Thank you so much for inviting me first thing first, and definitely it's going to be a pleasure to present in front, in front of all the students. To give you a little background about Istituto Marangoni, well, definitely it's an Italian design school, but it's also one of the first schools, or we are the pioneers of design education in Italy. And in the last 87 years now, Marangoni has started their own 10 campuses, which caters to geographic locations like Milan, Paris, London, Florence, Shanghai, Shenzhen, Mumbai, and Miami. So we're going to be talking more about the locations, how it plays a vital role for the students' learning exposure. Let me share my screen first. Perfect. You all can see my screen. So how we go about it is we're going to be doing a presentation of about 10 to 15 minutes, and post to it, I will help you with all the queries that you have. Okay, so let's start the presentation. When I said that Istituto Marangoni has now 10 campuses, a lot of students do ask me a question, Mahip, which is the best among all? For your information, all the campuses are at same par. We have the same facilitators, facilities, accreditation, certifications. The only difference is the geographics and fee structure, which I'm going to be taking you, through my slides. Now, first thing first to go and look at is the life of a student in Istituto Marangoni. So when I'm talking about the 1 campuses, it's by default, considering all the 10 campuses. So let's see the video first.
I'm studying studying the Master of Fashion Design. Everything is fashion.
I studio interior design.
Io ho scelto interior design. Enjoy. I love the school.
My name is Chris Marangoni and I'm from Barcelona.
Et comment c'est pour le styliste?
Studio fashion design. The meaning of fashion. I want to be a fashion designer. Adesso voglio fare progettista.
I don't care if you wanna tear me apart. I don't care if you do. 'Cause in the sky full of stars, it's
So that was a life of a student in Istituto Marangoni, right from the day they comes to the campus to the life that they undergo in Marangoni, and obviously the day when they exhibit their works, right from interior product to fashion design or styling or business, and then finally they say adios and start working in the industry. So that's a very beautiful life. Now, giving a little background about Marangoni, we started in 1935. We specialize in three major domains. That's fashion, arts, and design. We have approximately 45,000 alumni working in the industry, and we have about 4,000 students getting graduated every year from 10 campuses of Marangoni. We are definitely the oldest, but definitely we have also kept ourselves very niche. We do not cater to 2,000 students in one campus. It's hardly in hundreds. That's how niche we are. Now, talking about the geographic locations and how it helps student to have the best exposure, let's talk about it. I'm sure you're aware of Milan is the design capital of the world. Any student who wants to take experience or wants to learn interior designing, product designing, graphic designing, multimedia designing, Milan is the place. It's like a Makkah Medina of design. But also Milan is known for, the city exposure is known for the women's wear garments. And being women, and as a gender, it's a dominant gender in terms of fashion. So Milan is a place where a student can go in terms of design, but also if they are looking to do a female design garment construction, then that's one of the good places to go ahead. Now talking about Florence, Firenze. Firenze is very near to Milan. It's in Italy again. It's the art capital of the world. Any student opting for arts, fine arts, and they want to have the best career, my personal recommendation, please go ahead with art curation course or art management program. It's a very in program, the best and the best exposure, and your life is going to be settled if you do that. But also Florence is known for menswear collections. So any student who wants to have the best experience in the menswear, then Florence is a place for you. Now let's go to the Paris campus. Paris is the fashion capital of the world. The specialization of Paris is haute couture. Haute couture is like the highest level of fashion. It's a one dress made for one person with all the patent rights. The expensive elements are put on it. It's the dress that are being, worn by the VVVIP celebrities on the, red carpets or the gala dinners or gala events. That is what haute couture is. So Paris is famous for haute couture, and or Paris is also famous for accessory designing. So any student who wants to have the best experience in the accessory designing, then Paris could be one of the choice for you. Now comes the Mumbai campus. I'm sorry, then comes the London campus. London is, what do I say about London? It's one of the most commercialized cities in the world. Any brand who wants to put up their self on the global scenario, they will definitely have one or two offices in London. This is how good London could be for the business students or the styling students. But also London is also known for pret couture, or business wear garments, or avant-garde. So these are two areas. If a student wants to get in, London could be a good choice for them. Then we have Mumbai campus. Mumbai is one of the most commercialized cities in India. We have, economically, we are very strong. Definitely, we are there for the ones who are selling luxury brands to mass market brands. Also, Mumbai is having Bollywood. Mumbai is having the maximum influencers in India. So mostly planning, strategizing, and execution is done in the Mumbai area. Definitely the production is normally done in Faridabad, Ghaziabad, the New Delhi, the Noida places, but the planning execution is definitely being taken care in Mumbai. So that kind of experience you can get in terms of design or fashion. Then I do not do admissions for Shanghai, Shenzhen, but definitely then we have a campus for Miami, which started about 3 years back and doing fantastically well. Now, a lot of questions, student or parents ask me, Mahit, how to go about it? Is it easy to go from one campus to another? Which is the best among all? So for your information, all campuses are being taken care by the head office. So we have same facilitators, same facility, same accreditation, same certifications. The difference is the fee structure. In a way, the fee structure in the India campus is approximately 9 lakhs yearly, where in the study abroad, that means Milan, Paris, London, Florence is about 23 lakhs yearly. So that's one difference. Second difference is the city exposure, as I just mentioned. Milan is famous for something else, Florence is famous for something else, but otherwise the course remains constant. So if you're getting into fashion design or fashion business or interior, the course content will remain constant. The difference is only going to be the city exposure. Now, the second question, which is, can I go from one city to another? Can I, apply from one campus to another campus? This video will answer your question. Learning has no boundaries, which means that Istituto Marangoni students, if they are getting into the undergraduate program, each undergraduate program is of approximately 3 years, be it fashion design, business, styling, interiors, products. So by the way, the list that you're seeing in your front is for the Mumbai campus. Marangoni has 120 plus courses to cater on all 10 schools, but today we are going to be specifically talking about the India campus, the one which has shown a really good demand in the industry. Let's take an example. Let's take an example of Dion. Okay, so Dion, wants to get into fashion designing. So this, Dion says that Mahip, I am an Indian. I have an Indian passport. I want to continue with the India campus first. I want to know what Indian demand and supply is all about, or the design is all about. Very good, Dion. Let's start with the India campus. And before the completion of the first year, I'm going to again go back to the Dion and ask, now where do you want to do the second year? Dion tells me, Mahip, I definitely did fashion designing in India. And in that, I have understood one thing is that, I'm more inclined toward the menswear design. So very good. Now I'm going to be briefing Dion on all the campuses. And now we all know that Florence is the art capital of the world, which specializes in menswear collection. So now Dion would go to the Florence campus. Now he would do his second year in fashion designing, but definitely that city exposure is in menswear. Now, after completing the second year, I'm going to again ask him, okay, Dion, now where do you want to do the third year? Now Dion says, Mahip, I've understood one thing, fashion designing is my forte. doing in menswear was definitely my forte. But this gender doesn't really spend much on the garments. They spend more on the accessory designing. Very good. Now we know that accessory designing is known for the Paris campus. So Dion would like to go to the Paris campus, complete your course in fashion designing. And that's how the course goes with Marangoni. We call it 3 years undergraduate progression program, in a way that every year you progress, and every year you can take a call where do you want to do the next years. For your information, the categories that normally we ask, definitely I've given an example where Dion is going and hopping from one school to another for every year. Normally, I do not recommend that. I recommend doing a year in India or 2 years study abroad, or 2 years in India consulting, or doing the last year in study abroad. So these are the credentials that you get as per the college that you get in, or you do the last year. So by the way, well done, Dion, you have completed a graduation of Marangoni. Now, with a lot of students do ask me a question, Mahip. Definitely now you've told us about the duration, the courses that you cater in Marangoni, India campus, how to take an admission. Does it go with the Indian rules, the credentials? How does it work really? So Istituto Marangoni is an Italian design school, which I've already mentioned, and we check you on a holistic growth, not just us, rather top 10, top 20, top 30 universities across the globe. 99% of the chances they will check you on a holistic growth, which means I'm going to check you on 5 elements. The first element is going to be the last 3 years academic record. That means how much you've got in your 10th grade, 11th, and what's your 12th predictive score. Second element is going to be your last 4 years co-curriculum activities. That means maybe you're a national level scuba diver, dancer, singer, musician, working with angels, having inter-college competitions, and even when you're starting with Dion, you can always have an LOR from him. So that's another, that's a second element. Third element is going to be a SOP, statement of purpose, a one-page write-up on, why do you want to do the certain program, by the specific institution, what is your market knowledge. And then fourth element is going to be a portfolio. Portfolio means 7 to 9 best sketches, drawings, paintings, photography, artifact, dress designed by yourself, a dress style by yourself. So all these elements, along with a 150-word write-up for each slide, will become your portfolio. That's your fourth element. Fifth element is going to be a round of an interview with an academic director of that specific campus. And after clearing the 5 elements, you would be given, definitely if you're setting up a benchmark, you'll be given admission with Istituto Marangoni. Okay, now I've told you about the Marangonis, how to take admission, but I'm sure you would want to know, okay, definitely it's in the top 10 schools in the world, and we have not heard about much of the alumni. Mahib, why don't you share some of the names? Okay, let me throw some of the names to you. Okay, now on the chat column, please, or on the, if you're looking over the YouTube, please in the comment column, do mention yes if you have heard about this designer before. Domenico Dolce from Dolce & Gabbana, DNG brand. Or Alessandra from Tots. Or how many of you have heard about our very own Franco Moschino? A lot of ladies like to love Moschino bags and belts. So definitely these are our alumni. Some Indian designers, if I name about Indian celebrity designer doing wonderfully well in Italian Fashion Week, Rahul Mishra is an alumni. Another Indian celebrity designer doing wonderfully well is Dhruv Kapoor. Then we have Ashish Shah doing wonderfully well again in the design segment in India. Ranveer Singh and Shah Rukh Khan's stylist, Miss Akanksha Rora, who's also a unit leader to Marangoni Mumbai campus, is an alumni. So definitely we have a good list of alumni working in the industry, and there are so many. We have, as I said, we have 45,000 alumni working currently in the industry. I'm going to show you a video. Do listen what they say.
It's always like I feel like I will have heart attacks. So I think we were really lucky to have such great time at Marangoni. Anything's possible. Follow your dream, create what you love, and nothing's impossible. I would love to be a student again. I would
easily do the whole course again.
This fantastic school and this fantastic job and career that I expect you after will always pay you back in satisfaction.
So those were the list of alumni, and you can always check more of our alumni on our website, or you can do the research on Google. Now, a lot of students do ask me again, another one question is, what about scholarships? Well, Istituto Marangoni do give scholarships on the basis of merits, that's one. Or while you're taking the admission, or when you're in the second or even the third year, definitely you can apply for the scholarship if you are doing exceptionally well. But also apart from that, we do have a lot of brand-based scholarships. Sometimes a lot of brands comes in to each college and they give a project to the students, and if the project, the submissions are being done obviously by the students, and if they're being selected, they are being offered. Yes.
Sorry, there is some disturbance. Yeah, now it's better.
So there are times, where on the projects, if students have done the submission, they are being, given a scholarship. So one of the example is this one. It's a house of Istituto Marangoni. It was in collaboration with Vogue Italiana. So student project was given, student did a submission, and that submission led them to have a good scholarships. And likewise, we have, different scholarships with Prada and the other brands as well. Yeah, so it's another way of saying that we also have another thing, which is a brand-based scholarship apart from merit-based scholarship. One of the best things, which I've not mentioned yet, or I may have, I don't remember, that the top recruiters for Istituto Marangoni, I'm sure you would want to know that. It's Louis Vuitton, Prada, Armani, Versace, Christian Dior, H&M, Inditex, Max Mara, Burberry, Chanel. These are the top recruiters to this institution. And all these brands, if you look in, they are more onto the lifestyle. They are not just the fashion. So they have the restaurants, they have their hotels, they have their interiors, they have their products, and definitely they're also there in fashion. The best way to check and to compare, because a lot of students do compare, okay, so what about your college and what about the other colleges, is always go on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is like a website for the working professionals. You put on Istituto Marangoni and a page would appear. On the left side, you click on alumni, where you can see the black or blue column. You click on alumni, you put a date, start year 2012, end year 2022, and you'll get a data of last 10 years. I'm sorry, I cannot fit in the whole screen because they show you a top 15 brands where the students are mostly working. So all these brands are coming from this. That's one of the most legit information. You can always check with other universities, and you can check with Marangoni. That's how you can make your final call. That's my basic details. You can always have a screenshot, and of course, Dion is going to be your one point of contact. If you have any queries related to Istituto Marangoni, or if you want to have a one-on-one session with myself, I'll be happy to do it. But definitely, you need to put a query to Dion so that his team can help me, have that session, as I'm already overburdened with a lot of, applications at this point of time. Thank you so much. Now, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to help you with every.
Right. Thanks a lot for that, Mahip. It was very, very impressive to have a look at all that. Right. So while those who are here can ask their questions, what I would like to do is just have a conversation with you a little further. Right. Now, in terms of the degree that you'll offer, now these are common questions that parents ask, right? So what kind of a degree or diploma do you all offer?
See, Istituto Marangoni has both degree and diploma. If you complete your course, let's say you do a year in India and you do 2 years in London, that's in UK, or you do 2 years in Paris, which is in France, you get the highest credential by the name BA Honors Degree in Fashion Design, Business Styling, Interior Product, whichever the course you're doing and which the campus is catering to, all right? But the same thing, same criteria, same course, same learning experience if you do in Italy. Okay, and even if you do 1 year here, 2 years study abroad, or you do 2 years India, you do the last year study abroad, you get a European diploma. So depending on where you're completing your course, you will get that credential. But all in all, are coming from Marangoni. And when I say European diploma, it's coming from Milan. Milan is in the top 7 schools in the world. So we have very legit approach. We do not work on the gray areas. We have a black and white, and everything is very legit, and the highest credentials for the students.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for that. So if anyone has further questions on that, you can please ask it right away. So that's with regard to the degree. Now, in terms of the industry interactions while students are studying there, what kind of industry exposure do they get?
There's such a beautiful question that you have asked. I'll tell you how we work in Marangoni. Okay, now in Istituto Marangoni, we have two sort of facilitators. Okay, the first facilitator is the one who is working with the luxury brands, as I said, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Armani, Versace. So these brands are going to be sending that person to Marangoni, or that person is going to be coming to Marangoni and would be teaching the students right from the first year. And there are chances, because this person is also working with the brand, there's already a project going on. So this person can also give a live project to the students. So my student, a class of 20 students, will be working on a live projects where 18 give a submission to this person who has come, and the best two will give to the the designer or director who asked for this project and is sitting in another part of the world. So in one go, you're working, and also you're making a network with two people who are currently working in the industry. That's option one, directly coming from the brands. Option two, facilitators are the alumni of Istituto Marangoni who have studied in Milan, Paris, London, Florence campus, have worked in that country, and now have come back to India, the native country, and working in the industry. Now they are going to be your alumni, they are going to be your facilitators, they are going to be your mentors, because they know the Indian market, they know the international market, they know the standards of Marangoni. And they will help you to give, again, now because when they're working in the industry, they will also give you certain projects which you need to work on. So it's a lot of hands-on experience. It's one of my student gets one of the most updated knowledge, because everyone who's coming to Marangoni to teach a student is coming directly from the industry. We do not have people who've been teaching for last 10, 20, 30, 40 years through books. No, it's experiential learning that we try to give to our students. So that makes our students have a really good placement at later stage. And their resumes, obviously, they have worked in a lot of projects, so their resume also reflects a lot of, experience.
All right, I got that. Right, so that's very interesting in terms of the industry exposure. Right, so the next aspect that we would like to know about is the scholarship, right? What kind of scholarships do you all give? Like, if you can give us some kind of idea.
I did mention in my slide also, we have two sort of scholarships. The one is merit-based, the second one is brand-based, okay? Merit-based is based on your prerequisites. What marks have you got, what kind of attendance you had, what kind of LORs you have, how was the portfolio, how was your SOP. On the basis of that, you get a merit-based scholarship. The second scholarship is brand-based, where a brand comes to the campus and will give a project to the students. The students will do a submission, and the best students will get the scholarship directly from the brands. So unfortunately, we do not have anything like a need-based. If you're really good in your work, we don't mind giving the scholarship, and it can range from right from 5%, it can go really, really high. Yeah, but definitely merit-based.
All right, that sounds good. Right, so the other aspect is in terms of stay and accommodation when people come, say they have to go to Bombay, right? Most of the students from DQ Labs, they relocate from other cities. So what kind of what arrangements do you all have? Yeah.
I'll brief you, because I also take care of the accommodations for the India campus. And just for information, when I'm giving information for the one campus, it's automatically you can consider this for all 10 campuses. Okay. So now before COVID, we used to have, a list of 3 to 4 brokers who were helping our students to get an accommodation as per their customized request. Someone wanted to have a PG or a double occupancy or apartment or a 2 BHK for themselves. So accordingly, whatever the budget was, it was, those 3 to 4 list of brokers were helping my students. But because of the corona now, parents wanted a much, a better approach in terms of accommodation. So what we did, we have hired a hostel facility within, a 5 kilometer. It's about 2.5 kilometers from the campus, and it's a hotel turned into a hostel only for Marangoni girls students. Okay, and now it's like you get an end-to-end service. It's a fully furnished. You get a breakfast, you get a dinner, you get the hygiene is there, the cleaning persons are there, there's the CCTV cameras for the parents, and there's the security guards in terms of the students, facility. Also, for those students, there's some of the ones who wants, a transport service also for them. We have also arranged a transport service where they're coming from a clean facility and they're getting into Marangoni, a clean facility again, and they're doing a back and forth. So all these services are available. Now, as far as the costs are concerned, we need to understand that all Istituto Marangoni's campuses are right in the center of the city, rather in the poshest place. Maybe, in the major fashion streets, major design streets. Even in Marangoni, Mumbai, it's one of the most poshest areas, one of the landmarks, what we can say. Now, the far you go, the cheaper it becomes. The closer you come to the campus, the expensive it becomes. Now, within 5 kilometer radius, if I give you an example, because obviously a student is coming from different city and they would like to stay within 5 kilometer radius only, considering all the hustle of these major cities. So for them, if they come, if they take a hostel facility, double occupancy will charge them about 4 to 4.5 lakhs for a year. That includes their accommodation, and they also include their basic expenses of about 10-15,000 rupees, as a extra money. That is going to be the cost staying in Mumbai. Obviously, a parent would want to, give 50,000 or lakh or 2 lakhs a month also. But I'm being generous and conservative and talking about something like a 10, 15 or 20,000 a month. Considering this fact, 4.5 lakhs is going to be something that is going to be the cost in Mumbai. Now, something the similar, if you talk about in Milan would be approximately 10 to 11. Paris and London are going to be expenses, going to be something between 12 to 13 lakhs. So yeah, and Florence is a bit cheaper than Milan. It's going to be something between 9 to 10 lakhs. The same kind of facility, fully furnished, breakfast, dinner given, hygienic, near to the campus. So these are the, the basic expenses in terms of accommodation.
All right, fantastic. So then there's a question from Ananya R, who's asking, is there an option to do all 3 years of fashion design in Mumbai itself? If so, what degree will be awarded at the end of this?
Perfect. So Ananya, Istituto Marangoni, as we all know now, it's an Italian school. So we do not cater to the last year in India. For we believe in that definitely of the quality education, but we also want you to have the best outcome, that is your placements. So what we do is we can maximum have you for a year or maximum to the 2 years, because by the 3rd year you have to be in either Milan or Paris or London or Florence campuses. Okay. So in case you are in London campus, you will get BA honors degree. In case you are in Paris campus, you will have BA honors degree. In case you are in Florence or you're in Milan, you're going to be having a European diploma. So accordingly, wherever you're going to be at that point of time, you will get that kind of certification. But all in all are coming from Marangoni, so you don't need to worry about it. It's not a franchisee or affiliated center that you normally see. It's all Marangoni Baba. It's in the top 10 schools in the world. I hope I've answered your question. Any
Yes.
other questions?
So Ananya, if you have a follow-up question on that, you can always ask. All right.
Yes.
Right. So we've covered the degree. We've covered the hostel, the scholarships. We've covered the experience, the industry experience. If there's anything else that students would like to ask, they could ask. There's a question from Nishita Kaul, who's asking, is there a major and minor which we can do, or only a major? Yeah.
So in Marangoni, what we do is we try to make you an ace of one. That means, if you're opting for fashion design, I'm going to give you all the knowledge of the construction part. Okay. But definitely you can do as the progression as as Dion did, during his fashion design time, he switched from Mumbai to, to Florence to Paris. So all these options are going to be available definitely. But when we talk about fashion design, your core will be fashion design, but at the last year, we will also cover some of the modules on entrepreneurship and the business side. Okay. But as I said, your core will be on fashion design. So that goes with other courses also. Your core will remain core, but we will cover a few of the modules so that in case you want to, have a different vertical, you will be able to manage it easily. Should not be a problem. So Nandini is saying, I've heard about the sandwich here in Marangoni. Do we still have that option? Okay, Nandini, very good question. Let me help you because a lot of students ask me this question. See, sandwich program came in London for a matter of fact that about 2 years back, any student who used to do an undergraduation for about 3 years, had to come back to the native country because the UK was not giving a work visa to the students. Okay. So for that matter, a lot of universities, what they did was, considering that 3 years course only, they did a 2-year learning experience, in the campus, and then they did the 3rd year as a 1 full year internship as a part of the course, and then they, they turned that 3rd year into 4th year. Okay, so 2-year studies, 1 year internship, 4th year again you do the studies, and that was your sandwich year. Considering the scenario where country is not giving a work visa, and now that way, because you have worked in the country and you have made some network, it would have been a bit of an easy task for you to get a job. ये उन students के लिए था. Now the scenario has changed. About a year and a half back, students UK have started giving a work visa to the students also. So definitely, if you want to do sandwich program, you're most welcome to do it. But as I said, sandwich program was something else. But now, since you already started getting a work visa, it depends totally on you. If you think it's a requirement, you can go about it. If you think it's not a requirement, then definitely you can start working in the industry. Any other questions?
All right. Let me just check on YouTube. Yeah, I guess we've covered all the questions for now. Right. So Mahip, thank you so much for taking the time out. And
thank you so much, everyone. And thank you so much to everyone who asked the questions. It's always a good thing to present in front of the students and answer as much queries as possible. And one thing for sure, which I would want to share, is any student who wants to connect with me, it's always good to do a one-on-one Zoom call, because then I will be able to understand your case, and then can give you a better, information on the courses available in Mumbai. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dion. That's about it.
All right. Looking forward to more interactions. Also, just to remind everyone, if you are interested in applying to Istituto Marangoni, what you can do is click on that link which we've shared. That's the DQ Edge link. In this DQ Edge link, there is let me just show that to you. Just a second. Let me just share my screen and showcase that. Yeah. So what I would like you, so you can see my screen here, right? So what happens is when you click on this link, which we've shared with you, you can find out a little more about the school. You can get some information here. And if you're interested in the school, you can click on this link. Of course, it'll ask you to log in, but once you do that, your details will go to Mahip, and Mahip can connect with you as well. All right. Right. So that's pretty much it. I hope all of y'all are keen, as many students are keen on joining or considering. You can please connect with Mahip, and that'll be great. Okay. Thanks a lot, Mahip, once again, and looking forward to more interactions. All right.
Have a nice day, everyone. Thank you.